Hello and welcome back to the channel and our continued playthrough of Tavern Manager Simulator on the PS5. We're going to jump straight back in, and if you've been watching the episode you know that this poor lady in here has been waiting for a soup all day and all night. She's very patient, so let's go and get that sorted out. So in the kitchen, end of last episode we opened up the grill here. So we've not yet gone through that mechanic, but we'll give that a whirl a little bit later on. Now that we've opened it up, I'm sure our guests, once they arrive, will want the latest menu. In order to make the soup, we need a couple of things. There's just a slight bit of lag there because I'm playing on my portal. So we need some wood from our wood pile. If we want to chop wood, then just a recap over here. As with most things, it's a press of the X button. Keep our finger on the X button to swing. 3 chops should get us a nice pile of wood, like so. And on that goes. We'll grab this one. And we go and put that under, our boiler. Ooh, sorry if that's picking up on the video, but there is just a slight bit of lag there, which is why it looks like I'm jerking around a bit. Okay, so we need some water. For our soup, which luckily, because we upgraded, we can store up to 5 buckets of water in the premises there. We'll then be prompted to start. Okay, so we'll just make sure we've got 10 soup bowls. We have. And no resources left. Did we not order vegetables? No, we didn't. That would explain it. So let's do a bit of a stocking up exercise ready for the day ahead. So I'm guessing we need a little bit of everything. We've only got 4 sausages. We have 14 pints, which is not too bad. We'll also need some vegetables, and on our task bar there, we're also being prompted to buy meat. So let's go ahead and do all of those things. Over in our office here, it looks like we've got a letter as well. Let's see what that's all about. You should check the area behind the tavern. It looks like you're being robbed. Interesting. Did we have a chair in there as well? Don't think we did before. And we've got a couple of pictures here on a little dresser as well. So it looks like we've upgraded our little back office as well. Let's go and have a look what's going on outside the back of the tavern. I'm not sure what they mean by you're being robbed. But let's just have a look over here. Oh, there's something going on because there's... Not sure what we've got to gain by cleaning up here, but this looks very much... New man walk here, find new place by the river. Okay. So it does look like there are little mini story arcs here. Are these my tankards? So perhaps I didn't notice that these were missing then. And that I genuinely am being robbed from a tavern by a goblin. So found a new place by the river. Okay, so there's nothing over there. Oops. So let's have a little wander round. Looks like there's a boundary over there. That's to the village. There's a waterfall down that end. So let's head towards that. Assume where there's a waterfall, there's a river. So we're on a bit of a side mission here, by the looks of things. So this was the fishing spot. Where there's some kind of big dragon things in the water. Let's stop at some fishing. So we'll head around the outskirts of the map itself to see where this goblin might be. So you can see it's a fairly sizable map. I mean, it's not a kind of world type thing. Was this opened up last time? I don't remember it being this big. But I don't know whether this was opened up or it's expanded, or I just didn't explore the whole thing before. That's interesting. A little bit of a side mission from our tavern duties. Oops. It looks like we can't go down that way, but this is the river. Oh, I do remember seeing the mill actually. Okay, so some gold under there by the looks of it. Oh, so a goblin. A goblin cage goes into the inventory. That's something a bit different. So unfortunately that lady is still waiting for a soup. We better head back. So we can't get across the bridge there. And some kind of cart fall over that stops us getting there. So let's head back to our tavern. Oh, there's something over here as well. It's like a little hobbit type village, isn't it? So we can't collect the flowers. I'm not sure I spotted this before either. Don't know whether it was there or not. Some kind of blacksmith making a sword. Okay, so it says he made a table. Has that gone into my inventory? It didn't seem to say so. We did have... Let's just go to our inventory. We did have some kind of sword in here, didn't we? So this is slightly different to the playthrough that I was planning. Doesn't look like we can put that there. Can we give it to him? No. Some kind of... don't know what that is. So his dialogue said there was a table that we could have. We can take this table and maybe some... Oh, is that... Okay, it's on there. Nice. Okay, so we get a free table. We've still got our tray, just in case anybody needs a drink in the wilderness. So let's head back over. We explored that area. Back over to the tavern, and let's place our order. So, we, as well as our sign for the one-eyed dragon, we now have a food sign as well. Gold-wise, 353 is not the best, but we did use that to upgrade. Sorry, we're in the wrong bit here. So let's go and place our order. So we definitely need vegetables for soup, and we need 10 to be able to make a soup. So that'll make 10 bowls. 10. We'll grab some sausages. I think we had 4, so let's do that up to 10. And we better buy some meat as well, so that's we're going to buy 5. Yeah, let's do 5. And our delivery should be on the way. So yeah, a bit of a side mission there, but that was a new kind of little bit of story there that was added as we upgraded our tavern. So our back office here, we've got a nice little chair to count our money. We've got a wardrobe, although that doesn't function, so there's no kind of character mods. Got a lovely mirror. And of course our bed to start and end, finish the days. Sorry, I have kept you waiting an incredibly long time for your soup. It's been well worth. Actually, let's just go to the wash while we wait for that. And so that's a bit odd. Sorry, there's a bit of stutter again there. We didn't lose any of our 20 tankards, so although it said we were being robbed, it didn't look like it was taking stock from our tavern. Okay, so we'll pop these back into the warehouse. We should then have some sausages, and we're going to be taking through the tutorial for cooking meat. Now you can cook fried meat. You need firewood and meat. You can find meat in the store, and you'll need to chop firewood. Slice the meat by holding X and moving it up and down. Tenderize the meat by clicking X on it. Flip the meat using the arrow when it's in the yellow or green zone. So similar to the other things there, in that we have a kind of a good zone, which is the yellow zone, which is a bit more forgiving, which will get us our standard gold. If we manage to get into the green zone, then that's perfect, and it's going to mean that we can get a tip as well. Okay, so let's start with the soup. First thing we're going to need to do is put some wood in the fire. So hit that green bar 3 times in a row. Perfect. R1 to place our ingredients, and then we need to press X and stir the soup to get it into that green zone. When time's up. Perfect. That leaves us 10 bowls of delicious soup. So that's the dog. Right, so this is brand new, this cooking of the steak. So we're going to need some wood first. Looks like we have 10 plates over here. So now what we could do before we did that is we had a table over here, so we didn't have to keep making different batches of soup. So we'll put 4 down on there, and then we will get some wood to cook some meat. Looks like the horse has left us a little gift over there. Thank you very much. So we'll do all our prep in this episode, and we'll start a nice fresh one with a fresh new day with all our stock ready to go. That was going to be the plan for this episode, but as you saw, we got a little bit sidetracked with a side mission there. So let's put that in there, and then let's see how this works. So we need to move this over and chop our meat nice over backwards and forwards on the directional stick. So it looks like we get a few out of one piece of meat, and I bought, I think, 5, so we've got quite a bit here. Maybe I overdid. Backwards and forwards. Okay, next. We need to tenderize our meat. And then now okay, so that's quite forgiving. I was a bit worried that they looked quite small. So we got some deliciously cooked. So we get 5 out of one piece of meat. Okay, so I'm not going to cook. Well, actually, they don't spoil, so let's give this lady a soup. I think she's waited long enough. Terribly sorry. And there you are. Okay. So we are at just about 10 p.m. And that means that that's timed quite nicely that we could end the day. 10 o'clock is our night time here, which means that we can start a new episode with a new day. So we'll just go and top everything up so that we're fully prepared. So we need another bucket of water for our kitchen area there. There we go. And we'll fill the sink up, and we'll also fill up the big bucket so that we've got 5 buckets within our premises. And I think that puts us in a pretty decent position. So although we're down to 223 gold, on the last service we got up to about 700 or so, because we got then tables of a few guests. So actually, whilst we think about that, we also got the free table off the blacksmith there. So let's just give this a quick wash. So here we go. That's our bowls, nice and clean. Lady finally got a soup, and you can see there that after a while the wood runs out. So what I'm going to do, hopefully that soup then doesn't go cold, because if it doesn't spoil on the table, then presumably it's all right in the pot as well. So we'll keep that as it is. We'll grab a couple of our delicious steaks, which, as you can see from those shining, there we go. From that kind of glowing effect, that means that we cook them perfectly, so that's good. So we'll pop those down on our service table. Actually, we could probably fit the soups on there as well. And we'll take 3 and see how we go with that. So we'll probably get 1 more on there. And so as we start getting more guests, what my plan would be is to prep a batch of food on this table here, and then also have another batch ready to go mid-service. Probably the same for the steaks as well, because the prep of the steaks takes just a little bit longer. I mean, as we saw, unless there's urgent guests, then they are quite forgiving in waiting for their beer and drinks. The ones that are urgent orders will have like an orange bar above them, and the on-screen prompt will say that it is an urgent order as well. So we also have a toilet to clean. We've got quite a bit of work to do here. Ooh, missed. One more. Just about. There we go. So I guess we'll also pay to go to our toilets. So we've got... the reason I haven't filled that one up is that basically, although you can get 5 buckets and take it from there, actually that would make sense, is rather than waiting to draw the water, which takes a little while, about 5 seconds, and I thought we could take this big bucket into our tavern, but we do have to grab them individually, which at first didn't make sense, but then I suppose you can instantly get a bucket out. You can instantly get a bucket out of that barrel there. So we have to wait for it to go right back down. I thought I could cheat and grab the bar halfway round. To make it quicker. Okay, so we do need to wait for it to fully go back to 0. There we go. So, one more. And then that leaves us for this episode. Good to go. So we've got plenty enough firewood there. We have our pints in the back there. A full complement of sausages. We have our table with meat and soup. We can pour a couple of pints ready. That doesn't take too long. But let's have a look in our inventory for that table that we had. Okay, so we can... do we want to put that close together, or do we want to... I mean, it's further to go, but we do want to decorate our tavern a bit, don't we? So I'm going to put that one down there. Perfect. So it's starting to take shape, actually. We've extended our bar from 3 seats to 5. Wrap around bar. And as I mentioned in one of the previous videos, when you see the guests walking past, some of them might not come in. And the reason for that is that they need a table to accommodate them. So if it's a party of 2, even though you've got 5 seats, they don't want to sit individually. So you've got these tables for 2, bench set things for 4. We've got our first fancy decoration, which I'm actually going to move over to the bench set here. It can get in the way of cleaning up, so whilst it'd look good right in the middle, in fact I'm going to do that. Put that. God, that was a bit of work. We did find some other things. If we go to our inventory, we found a helmet on the walls. It says we've got a hero sword, and we've got these like... it looks like it should go onto the wall, but it won't let us put it on there. So a hero sword would be quite a nice decoration, I would have thought. So we've got all these... it seems to want to snap into place. But there's clearly somewhere that we need to place this, because Says it's in the wrong area. We also found a helmet. I don't know whether that's like a tabletop decoration or something. Oops. Doesn't like to go there, does it? Maybe we can balance it on there. I mean, I don't know whether it upgrades our reputation or not, but we'll leave it on there for now. And for some reason we also had a goblin cage because we just captured a goblin. Don't know what that achieves for us. It feels a bit weird to have just a random goblin in a cage as part of our decorations, but there you go. Okay, so I think that is us pretty much set for the day ahead. What we'll have to do is we're at 7:23 in the morning, so I can probably open up and start the next episode. Thank you very much for watching this one, and I hope you stick with me for the rest of the series.